to now be taking these bullshit
No.
I can't even say it. No, you don't think it does at all?
No. Here's the reason why. He's retired, number one. Number two, he had already proved himself as a world champion, made a whole boatload of money, got $700 million in 2 fights, for crying out loud. He did all of that stuff. Then he retired, and he's announced that essentially these are exhibitions. He's just having fun with it because he's getting old. He's 45 years old now, and he did what he came to.
But soon as someone black, when my career is over as far as me in a combat sport, as far as boxing, whatever, if I'm promoting on social media or I'm doing exhibitions, it's like, oh man, he's broke. No, it's not a crime for them to make money. They don't say nothing about the guys that's 80 and 90 that's still making hundreds of millions and billions, but soon as somebody black does it, your people, your own people, say, oh, he's big.
Now, did Logan ever get paid with the situation with Floyd Mayweather?
Nah, not yet. Floyd Mayweather's broke. You know, that's what a lot of people don't realize.
To now be taking these, __. EXP no, you don't think it does at all. No, here's the reason why he's retired. Number one. Number two, he had already proved himself as a world champion, made a whole boatload of money, got $700 million in 2 fights, for crying out loud. He did all of that stuff, then he retired, and he's announced that essentially these exhibitions, he's just having fun with it because he's getting old. He's 45 years old now, and he did what he came to. But soon as someone black, when my career is over as far as me in a combat sport, far as boxing, whatever, if I'm promoting on social media or I'm doing exhibition, it's like, oh man, he's broke. No, it's not a crime for them to make money. They don't say nothing about the guys that's 80 and 90 that's still making hundreds of millions and billions. Soon as somebody black does it, your people, your own people say, oh, he's now. Did Logan ever get paid with the situation with Floyd Mayweather? No, not yet. Floyd Mayweather's broke. You know, that's what a lot of people don't realize. Floyd Mayweather has always been a larger-than-life figure, known for his flashy lifestyle, his collection of expensive cars, shiny watches, and those jaw-dropping paydays that followed him throughout his boxing career. But in recent days, rumors have spread about him being broke. It seems unbelievable, especially given that he's one of the richest boxers in history, but the talk seemed to be growing louder. Stephen A. Smith recently assessed Mayweather's current situation, and even though he was just looking at what could be real, Mayweather himself was not impressed by his comments. You got guys like Warren Buffett that's in his 80s or 90s that can still make a ton of money, the Waltons that own Walmart, Bill Gates can still make computers. But soon as someone black, when my career is over as far as me in a combat sport, far as boxing, whatever, if I'm promoting on social media or I'm doing exhibition, it's like, oh man, he's broke. You know, it's not a crime for them to make money. They don't say anything about that. During one of his sessions, Smith painted a grim picture, talking about how Mayweather's extravagant lifestyle might be costing him a fortune. The cars, the watches, the jets, the mansions, they all add up, and Smith suggested that it's probably more than Mayweather could afford at this point, now that he's no longer fighting with no big paydays from the ring. Smith pointed out that maintaining such a lavish lifestyle is no small feat, and it's possible Mayweather is living beyond his means, whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old, you're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week, but you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard, but I know this is not the first time these talks are spreading, but it seems that Mayweather has had enough. In true Floyd fashion, he fired back hard, threatening anyone who dares to say he's broke. If you say I'm broke, you better watch out, Mayweather warned, vowing to sue anyone who tried to tarnish his name with negativity. However, as much as this is his reaction, things only seem to be proving the point. Things got even messier when employees at Mayweather's gym in Los Angeles staged a protest. The workers were claiming that they hadn't been paid in months, which only added more fuel to the fire. Holding signs and chanting outside the gym, they accused Mayweather's company, the Money Team, of not fulfilling its obligations to them. Some even went as far as calling it modern-day slavery because they felt exploited, denied their rightful pay. Oh, is probably Money Team has no money. All right, the protesters weren't just angry, they were desperate, and they weren't sure if Mayweather even knew about the situation. In some ways, it's hard to say if Mayweather was directly involved in the issues his gym employees were facing. Some workers claimed that they weren't allowed to even tell him what was going on, which only fueled suspicions that he might be turning a blind eye to the problems under his brand. Even with all the allegations, Mayweather has continued to publicly deny any wrongdoing, insisting that he is still in control and that his money is fine. You're living the American dream, man. You got 55 cars, 40 girlfriends. Well, actually, You're a billionaire now, right? Come on, let's salute this billionaire. On stage. But how many years ago you was broke? When I say broke, you ain't have a lot of money, you was just barely making it. Today I ran. But despite the protests and accusations, Mayweather seemed undeterred. In fact, he went on to make even more lavish moves that year. Just days ago, after the protests, Mayweather made headlines by supposedly buying over 60 buildings in Upper Manhattan for a massive $42 million with more than 1,000 residential units. This was no small investment. Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself, he said in an interview, proudly sharing his success. It seemed like Mayweather wanted to prove that his financial empire was still standing strong, but buying a massive real estate portfolio in New York is no small feat, and managing such an investment requires a lot of money and attention. Just another ordinary day chilling in a EWB Rolls-Royce. For those that don't know what a EWB is, that's a extended wheelbase Rolls-Royce. I need the legroom, I know I ain't that tall, about 5 feet 8 inches and 1/2, some days 5 feet 9 inches, but it is what it is. With that kind of commitment, you'd think he'd have a steady stream of income to keep everything afloat. Then just a few months later, Mayweather splashed out another $20 million on a property in Midtown Manhattan. This wasn't just any property, it was a prime piece of real estate on 6th Avenue, one of the busiest streets in New York. The building, which housed offices and jewelry shops, was a significant acquisition located right near major landmarks like Radio City Music Hall and Rockefeller Center. Mayweather even shared how special the property was to him, recalling how he used to shop in the area when he was younger. It's late 40s now, still fighting these random people in random places for $5 million here, $10 million there. No, he's just a big spender. You can't spend like that, you know. Like, this guy has a lot of chains, so many chains, bro. That's yo chains, that's a depreciating asset. Get yourself something. But while Mayweather was out there buying high-end properties, the situation at his gym is only getting worse. Employees are still claiming that they haven't been paid, and one of his gyms had shut down after failing to pay $30 in rent. That kind of financial neglect doesn't match up with the image of the man who once made $300 million for a single fight. Something isn't adding up. How could someone who earned billions be struggling to keep his businesses afloat? Money made all day, you know, right? Hear the light. Million over there, coming up another million over there. Walk with me, ladies and gentlemen, let me take you into my life. So Andrew Jackson, of course, is on the 20 benching at Franklin right here. You know, money made our day. We in the bank doing what we do best, counting money. Floyd has built an empire that extends far beyond the boxing ring, focusing much of his attention on the real estate market. Over the years, he has managed to acquire a substantial portfolio, including 9 skyscrapers in the New York area thanks to his partnership with SL Green. Mayweather himself has boasted about his strategic moves in the city, recounting a walk through Manhattan with Andrew Matias, the president of SL Green. During this walk, Matias pointed out multiple buildings that they owned, emphasizing the lucrative nature of real estate. A boxer makes money when he's boxing, a football player makes money when he's playing football, a basketball player makes money when he's playing basketball. But in New York real estate, you make money when you sleep. It's a statement that embodies Mayweather's efforts to transition from his boxing days into the world of passive income and long-term wealth building. I believe in building generational wealth, even like with my children. All 4 of my children are adults, and I told them, no more handouts. Because I feel like I'm hurting my children's. Despite I give them money, they go shopping, they put gas in their car, they party, they come back. I need money, I give them money, I'll buy them houses, I buy them cars. Told them, listen, if you guys go to school or you work in one of my businesses, then you can branch off, get your own business. For Mayweather, the game plan is clear: build an empire of assets that generate money for him even when he's not actively working. In that sense, real estate is the perfect avenue for his post-fight life. His involvement in a new casino project in partnership with Caesars' SL Green and Jay-Z's Rock Nation further solidifies his desire to make his money work for him. The project to build Caesar's Palace Times Square would bring jobs and entertainment to one of the most iconic areas in the world. With figures like Jay-Z involved, it's clear that this project has the potential to be a game changer for Mayweather. It seems like a perfect opportunity to expand his reach in a way that mirrors the success he achieved in boxing. So one day somebody, because you know I don't have social media on my phone, yeah, so they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, boy, Mayweather ain't got no money, that's why he doing exhibition. No, Eddie don't. However, despite his lavish business ventures and high-profile investments, Mayweather's financial reality may not be as stable as he would like the public to believe. The image of the self-made millionaire has been challenged in recent months, particularly with the allegations surrounding his gym in Los Angeles. These concerns have been further amplified by the claims made by Gervonta Davis, Mayweather's protege Davis recently suggested.